Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome back to Shattered Time Rewind. Previously, MC went through another time loop. He saw how Natsuki died, relived some PTSD, beat the living daylights out of Jorichiro for talking bad about the first girl he ever loved, and, well, now he has help from Yuri and Mio in an unexpected way. And now we're here at a new time loop. So here we go. I wake up to find myself on the cold, hard ground. Same ground, same house, same mailbox with a Sirenji name on it. Same everything. I sit up and feel something in my pocket. It's the lock and key. Well then, it looks like all that witchcraft stuff regarding these special metal items held true. I never should have doubted you, Yuri. I don't waste much time as I get up and make my way inside. I have some idea of what I'm up against here. I know Natsuki's dad is the killer, but... what am I supposed to do, though? Beating up that loser Jorichiro was one thing, but this guy has a gun on him. Am I really going to... kill the guy? Damn it, I don't even know anymore. Maybe there's some other way. There has to be. As I go through the house quietly, making notes of some of the odds... I go through the house quietly, making note of some of the odds and ends I find. Something a little weird I notice is the cordless phone in the kitchen. Conveniently, there's an address book right next to it. Who even uses these things anymore? I guess this guy has never heard of a cell phone before. Looking past the outdated phone, I notice what seems to be a small business card right under the address book. I take it in my hand. I remember the name of this company being a law firm that went under a few years back. Sheesh, don't wonder he's so bitter and drunk all the time. I take one and study the name. Kaido Sirenshi. So, I've got a name to place for that ugly mug of his. And Kaido being the name of Natsuki's dad and Found Love, which was, back then, one of my favorite Natsuki mods. That's not going to help me much, though. Not unless I... dang it. Little trigger happy there. Not unless I can get him arrested. With this mod being the exception, Found Love is kind of what's going to be like the inspiration for how I write Natsuki's dad. But yeah, this mod is just the exception here, so them's the breaks. So get him arrested for doing absolutely nothing, because that makes total sense. Yeah, no. I absent-mindedly pocket the card and keep on moving. I find myself in the living room next, where I see another picture of the seemingly happy family on the wall. I then find another picture, but this time, it's just Natsuki's mother alone. There's a small metal plate on the frame with a black ribbon adorning it. Kaede Sirenshi, 1978 through 2016. So, she passed away 3 years before the events of this story. That's right. Natsuki's mom apparently died. And not long after we would have started high school. On top of that, having divorced parents is one thing, but this is the death of a parent we're talking about. Well, I wouldn't personally be too sad about never seeing my old man again. The thought of losing my mom would break me. Mom is all I have left now. Without her, I'd have no reason to... No. If Natsuki's mom meant as much to her as mine does to me, then I might have an idea of how this loss might have affected her. I shake my head and make my way through the rest of the house. As I'm quietly sneaking over to Natsuki's room, one of the doors next to me creaks open. Fuck my life. My blood turns to ice as a man in a wrinkled business shirt steps into view. He seems very groggy at first until our eyes lock. It's him. I only caught a brief glance at him before, but there's no doubt in my mind. Who the devil are you? What are you doing in my house? I was just looking for the bathroom. Why did I even say that? As if saying anything else would make a difference at this point. His expression goes from dazed to angry almost immediately as I see him reaching for something. Why didn't I grab at least a knife or something? He's probably getting that gun of his. Whatever, I'm gonna book it. I look back for a split second, but I don't see the gun in his hand, thankfully. I try to get away, but the psycho lunges at me with a bat in his hands, roaring with anger as he aggressively charges at me. Get back over here! There's a fire in his eyes as he tries to bludgeon me with the bat. I'm able to hold him off when I grab onto the bat before he can get me. I push back, holding onto the bat as hard as I can, knocking him against the wall. I take a hold of it, trying to keep my eyes on him at all times. We're both standing still, waiting to see which of us will make a move first. I'm not going to let you kill your daughter, you sick, twisted freak! I don't know what you're talking about. How do you even know I have a daughter? Are you some kind of stalker? Oh, I see now. Well, you're not laying a hand on her. Before I can say anything, he grabs onto a discarded beer bottle, which you can see here. He breaks it against the corner of the wall and slowly approaches, his eyes locked on me the entire time. As I'm looking at him, I swear I see something behind him. Or someone. Like a shadow looming right behind him with burning red eyes and horns like a stag. I've already had a shit day at work. At least now I have something to take it out on! Oh yeah? Bring it on, you crazy old bat! He takes a few jabs at me with the broken beer bottle. Dang it. But I'm able to dodge. I managed to land a clean hit on his jaw, sending him reeling. Didn't think you had a class jaw. As I move closer to him to knock him out, he takes the moment to strike. He got me. Dropping the bat out of shock, he picks it up and slugs me over the head. My God, you're greasy. No one seemed to get this reference, but it's a reference to The Simpsons. And technically also a reference to my streams, because I do tend to say this every once in a while. My God, you're greasy. Okay, well. I'm in and out of consciousness as I feel myself getting dragged by the waist. I'm back in the hall. Damn, I'm still bleeding from where he stabbed me. I don't know what he's going to do to me. As we get closer to what I assume to be his room, a voice calls out. Dad? What's going on? Shit. He picks up the pace as he makes his way over to Natsuki's room. He drops me to the floor as he barges in on her, practically throwing the door open. I'm able to catch a glimpse of everything from the opening in the door. Oh hey Nat, listen, there's no time to explain. We have to leave right now because we'll be, going on vacation for a while. Yeah, we've got to leave right now or else. Or else they're gonna come and arrest him for killing someone. I've got no clue when we'll be coming back either. Most likely never. What? Why? I still have school tomorrow. Don't worry about that. I've got it all figured out. So pack up your bags, Nat, because, we're going on vacation right now to Disneyland! But what about all the noise I heard downstairs? Disneyland! Or, well, Disneyland! An alternative way to say it. I can't hang on anymore. As I look away from Natsuki's room, I see that same shadow figure again, peering at me with piercing crimson eyes. And, well, for anyone who's wondering, I drew him, so there you have that. As he moves closer to me with his hand out, I feel myself fade away. And we're back at June 3rd, 2019. I spring up from the ground, gasping for breath. What the hell was all that? I look at my shirt. There's no signs of blood anywhere. I don't feel like I have I don't feel like I have any stab wounds either. I look at my watch. The day hasn't changed. Meanwhile, the time looks like it was rewound to just before I broke into the house earlier. Is this like some kind of return by death? So it seems the time loop resets to this point if I die at any point. That's good to know, I guess. I still have no idea what the hell I've gotten myself into, but there is one thing I do know. I don't want to mess with Natsuki's dad in a direct confrontation. I pick myself back up and feel around my pockets. The lock and key are still there, as well as a small piece of paper. I take it out and look it over. The business card is still here. Well, it won't do me any good now, but I'll keep it. I put it back in my pocket and proceed into the house once again. Okay, let's review. What do I know? Natsuki's dad is the killer. He's also batshit crazy and willing to kill me on sight. And he's more than willing to go on the run with Natsuki if he kills me. To Disneyland, of all places. Yeah, I'd prefer to avoid confronting him again, but... I'd prefer to avoid confronting him, but then again... Just in case, I need to have something to defend myself with. I waste no time grabbing a knife from the dirty dishes. I don't care if it's got crusty old food on it. I'm gonna use it to stab that old bastard on sight if worse comes to worse. I'm not going to waste any time in this loop. I'm heading straight for the room he came out of to see if there's anything I can do. I can probably get the jump on him there if I have to now that I have the element of surprise on my side. I kind of suspected this was like an office or bedroom of some sort, but it looks like a mix of both. I look over to the other side of the room and there, fast asleep in a chair, is the bastard himself. I slowly take a few steps forward, making sure I don't get too close. From here, he almost looks harmless. I know he's anything but harmless, considering he's not only going to kill his daughter, but he'll kill me if I screw up again. Okay, you've made it this far, Daniel. Think. I look around the room for anything that might be helpful. I spot the bat on the side of the doorway. I see some kind of locked box that seems large enough to store the gun he had. What if No! I'm not here to kill anyone! What am I supposed to do, though? I can't kill a person in cold blood like that, even if I know what he's planning. He technically hasn't done anything yet. If I could just stop him from killing Natsuki, then maybe none of this will happen. That's when I see a bottle of sleeping pills on the nightstand. I take it in my hand and inspect it. I glance over the directions and see the pills haven't expired yet. Maybe. I walk over to Kaido's sleeping body with the bottle open. I then force a couple of pills into his mouth. He can't kill Natsuki if he's too busy sleeping. If fate says Natsuki is going to die, then I'm just going to give fate the middle finger. I can't stop there, though. No, I have to make sure nothing else can go wrong. With the bottle still in my hand, I make my way over to Natsuki's room. I take a couple of pills in my hand and shove them down her mouth as well. Okay, according to the directions, that ought to do it. At least, until the morning comes. I'm not going to shove the whole bottle down her throat and risk her overdosing on sleeping pills. Which is exactly what happened in the original, so... But to be fair, he was slightly more insane in the original. Still, I hope this works, and since there's no guarantee. Fingers crossed. With that taken care of, I look around the room again. That's when I notice her diary in the same spot I saw it the last time. I never finished reading it before, considering her psycho father came in here before I found anything useful. As much as I don't want to, I nabbed the diary and put it under my arm. In case things go south with Operation Go to Sleep, then I need a plan B to fall back on. Sorry, Natsuki, but I'm trying to save you, and I'm running out of options. Then again, she already hates me. I casually made my way out of the house after doing what I felt had to be done. I tossed the knife in the garbage while I was at it, as to not look suspicious. You know, because walking around at night, with a knife in hand. Just saying. Well, more suspicious than I already do, walking around at night with a pink book in my arms. Oh right, yeah, can't forget that. I spotted Jorichiro on his usual walk, as I did before, but I made sure to stay out of sight. His walk of shame. Hopefully this will all be over soon. Maybe what I did sounds kind of stupid, but what the hell was I supposed to do? I feel like I'm up against the wall with no way out. Fish out the house keys from my pocket and quietly unlock the door. Then I gently open the door and set foot inside. Before going to my room, I make a slight detour. There's an old trunk in the basement that I think the lock will work on. I spot it in the corner, hidden in the back. I open it, and sure enough, it's as empty as my old man's head. Or Lumine's eyes. I don't know why Mom kept this old thing, but I'm not going to question it. Now it has a purpose to serve. I toss in the business card and place the diary inside. I shut the trunk and lock it back up. There. Just in case I need them later. Mom was asleep as per usual, so there's no need to worry about explaining anything. It would make a hell of a story, though. How I got into a fight with some crazy guy, and then how I put him and his daughter to sleep with sleeping pills. I'm not exactly proud of all that, not going to lie. I can only hope things will work out in the end. June 4th, 2019. So far, everything seems normal. Natsuki might not be at school today, but that's okay. She's most likely still sleeping, if I'm going off the directions on the bottle. But if she wakes up within the next couple of hours, then... Now that I think about it, she might miss the first couple of classes if she does come to school. Yeah, I didn't think that through, but it's a small price to pay to make sure she doesn't die. Well, maybe some mind-numbing classwork can take my mind off everything, and it'll all just be some stupid memory. As I continue my way, I notice a plume of smoke off in the distance. That's where the school is! As I pick up the pace a little, some of the residents come out of their houses to observe the plume of smoke. As I'm running, I see a number of students fleeing in the opposite direction. What the hell? Hey! What's going on? There's a fire at the school! It just happened out of nowhere! What? I don't know about you, but I'd stay the hell away! Before I can say anything else, the girl continues running. Normally, I wouldn't give a damn about the school, but something pops into my mind. Someone, actually. Mio! I start running to the school, slinking my way through all the panicked students. Mio usually goes to school early and hangs around the classroom at least 15 minutes before class starts. I just hope being a prudent student hasn't gotten her killed. Yup, and there it is. It's exactly as that girl said. A portion of the school is engulfed in flames. Not just any portion, either. That's where my homeroom is. Damn it! I fight my way inside, fighting against the surge of students trying to escape. A lot of them urge me to turn back. Trust me, I'd love to do that. I really would. I have to see if... Sometimes I worry about Mio. She's a very sweet girl, but I've often found myself stepping in if someone gives her a hard time. It makes me worry about her, and what'll happen if I'm not there. Well, it might not mean much, but I can help look out for her if you'd like. What's so funny? Oh, nothing, it's just... I can't say I'm surprised. Honestly, Daniel, I can't help but feel you're too much of a nice person for your own good as well. Admittedly, I would be a lot less anxious if you were looking out for her. Thank you. Huh. Well, it's not a problem at all. We might not talk a lot, but I'd at least consider her a friend. I'm sure she would appreciate that. Very well, then. You promise? I promise. I'm not going to abandon her. Not after that promise I made to Kodanoa. Not if I can help it. I already broke one promise to her, so I'm sure as hell not breaking this one. Eventually, I make it outside the classroom. I kick the door down. I'm horrified by the sight in front of me. So many bodies on the floor. I can barely recognize anyone. The only one I can even pinpoint is the only one I can even pinpoint is the teacher. I can't be here. No. It's just too much. I can't. I run. I run as fast as my legs can carry me out of there. I don't want to be here now. Mio, I'm sorry. Kodo, I couldn't save her. I'm a failure. I failed you and her. I couldn't save you from that stalker, and now I couldn't save Mio from that fire. Damn it all! As I catch my breath, I hear someone behind me. As I turn around, I'm met with the blunt force of a metal bat to the face. Really, Daniel? Did you already forget what we talked about? The fuck? Amy? Did you forget why you were here in the first place? Honestly, you can be so dense sometimes. I told you what would happen if you went against the rules of the ritual, didn't I? You are seriously such a difficult man. Why are you doing this? I'm simply enforcing the will of Tyrankos. You didn't follow the rules. Now, you have to be punished. Nat has to live, Daniel. There's no way around it. Cramming a few sleeping pills down her throat isn't going to solve the problem. Do you understand me? How did you know? For her to live, a proper exchange has to take place. There has to be balance. A soul for a soul. For her to survive. For her to survive, someone must perish. I don't care if it's you, me, her father, or any random person. I don't care if you, me, her... Damn it. I don't care if you, me, her father, or any random person has to die in the process. Are we on the same page now? One life must be extinguished for another to go on. There is no other way around it. Now go back and get it right next time, would you? Just the sight of you right now is making me sick with anger. You think you can get away with this, Daniel? I'm not going to let things end this way. This is completely unforgivable and unacceptable. Tell me, do you believe in fate, Daniel? Well, you better start believing if you already don't. Because right now, you're fighting against fate itself. Now then, just to make sure we understand each other. As I'm getting up, I see Amy reaching for something. My eyes widen as she takes out the familiar bracelets I used to start this nonsense. What? Oh, Amy, wait! Tarankos, I've come to bargain. 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 For anyone who's wondering, Amy wasn't actually trying to make a bargain with him because, well, she already serves him, so... She was actually just doing that to freak him out. And clearly it's working. Because he's like, yeah, what the hell are you gonna do to me now? So... yeah, and, well, that was also something she did in the original. But yeah, like I said, she was just doing that to freak him out. Stop that! What are you trying to pull? Shut up and bleed. She introduces my face to her bat, sending me tumbling to the ground. What the hell is wrong with you? I hereby discharge you from duty. With that, she introduced my face to her bat one last time. Everything else fades away. I wake up. Wait, where am I? What's going on here? Daniel... What? Who's there? I desperately look around to try and find whoever said that. Nothing. I can't see anything. It feels like I'm in some kind of empty void. There's nothing but darkness everywhere I look. Just then, I feel a cold chill run down my spine. Welcome, Daniel. I have summoned you here for a purpose. Who said that? I trust you know why you are here. Where are you? Face me already! How amusing. Ugh! Who are you? I am called by many names, but I will make it simple for you. I am Tarankos. You're the one causing all this bullshit, aren't you? You are partially correct. I have done nothing of the sort. Everything that's transpired has done so by your own hand. I merely intervened once you decided to break some rules. You've got some nerve! You set my classroom on fire! You killed Mio and a ton of innocent people! Would you have preferred if I set your home on fire and forced your mother to meet a similar fate? Don't you dare! I can feel my blood boiling. If this son of a bitch even tries to hurt my mom... Where are you? If you lay a finger on her, I'll beat the living crap out of you like I did to Joichiro. You exaggerate. The point is, I'm not gonna sit around here and let you get away with this. No. The point is that you are a fool. You're lucky I can't find you right now. On the contrary, in this space, I am everywhere. You see, Daniel, in this space, you cannot destroy me, for I am nothing. You're full of it. I'm not scared of you. Then you are either a madman, or braver than most who have encountered me. What do you want, Tarankos? I want what anyone else does, Daniel. To live a peaceful life in a perfect world full of strife and grief. Oh, I think I did that in the original video too. No. To live a peaceful life in a perfect world free of strife and grief, just like you. Oh, really? Torturing me seems to be a pretty messed up way of living a peaceful life, wouldn't you say? I can make this experience as hellish or as blissful as you wish, Daniel. That all depends on the decision. Dang it. I still struggle with that word sometimes. Decisions. That all depends on the decisions you make and the actions that follow. Yeah, I guess maybe because I was trying to say it too quickly. You had one job, Daniel, and that was to obey the rules of the ritual set out for you. You couldn't even do that. What rules? Amy hardly told me anything when I started this whole thing. I can see into your soul, Daniel. You just love hearing yourself talk, don't you? What do you want about now? Tell me, Daniel. Just why did you willingly accept this task to save someone you barely even know? After all, you said so yourself, right? How this young woman apparently means nothing to you? I'm at a loss for words. To be honest, I'm not even sure why I did this in the first place. Even if Amy was controlling me for that moment, I still could have walked away any time after she stopped. Before I can say anything, a vision of Kodonoha appears before me. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess we weren't able to quite do that, but... Imagination, use it. Kodo! I run toward her, but then she vanishes. She is gone. There was nothing you could do to prevent her death. Never to be, never with you. Taken from you. Yet another innocent young woman is found dead, and you are presented with the opportunity to save her. Fascinating how you leapt at that chance. Curious, is it not? Emotions are truly a fickle thing. You feel guilt. You feel helplessness. You may try to hide your true feelings from those around you. You may even lie to yourself. But you cannot hide your emotions from me. Fine. So what if I still hate myself for failing to save Kodonoha? It may be too late for her, but not for this young woman. All you have to do is make a proper exchange to save her soul. One life must perish for another to go on through this process. And nothing! You see, Daniel, so long as you are bound by this spell, you belong to me. Should you betray or go against my will again, I can make your life very unpleasant. I trust you will make the correct decision in time. Because I am in a generous mood, I will give you another chance. Do not fail me again. I will not extend the same charitable attitude towards you a second time. Succeed, and her life will be spared. Are you saying I have to kill someone? But I can't. I think back to Kodonoha. I think back to Natsuki. She didn't stand a chance when her father forced her to die with him. Were things seriously that bad in her life for things to end like that? Then again, were things so bad in Kodo's life that she ended up... Fucking hell! Is that why Natsuki asked me that loaded question? Kodonoa never told me anything, and she was someone very close to me. Natsuki, on the other hand. I think back to what Amy told me before. Well, Nat was the kind of girl who wouldn't ask for help directly, even if she wanted it. So then, was Natsuki really asking me for help in her own roundabout way? Well, my headcanon is, like, yeah, Natsuki is the kind of person where she won't admit that she needs help from somebody, so... Is that why? I'm sorry, Kodo. I'm so sorry. I collapse, overwhelmed with guilt and sadness. It's ironic. Natsuki asked a stranger who didn't mean anything to her for help, and yet Kodonoa wasn't completely honest with me, despite everything we had been through together. I will say that the Kodonoa scenes were kind of emotional for me, for reasons I'll go into later, but yeah, I know, unfortunately, that did lead me to making some mistakes and having a few oversights here and there. The more I think about it, though, it sort of starts to make sense. Natsuki didn't know who to turn to, most likely because anyone close to her would have judged or looked down on her. I was the perfect person since it didn't matter what I thought. Kodonoa, was that why you never told me those thoughts were in your head? Did you figure I'd think differently about you? You confided in me about that stalker situation so long ago, but not about the thoughts that drove you to end your life? Even if that freaky stalker was making you live in constant fear, that wasn't the solution. I thought we trusted each other. We made that promise. Hey, do you think I'd be better off dead? That loaded question still rings in my mind. I am dragged out of my thoughts when I hear footsteps in the distance. Is it Tarankos? I wipe away my tears and get back up. I spot a lone figure in the distance. Not sure who they are, but I rush over to them. That's when I come face to face with her. Hey. Natsuki! Funny. Funny meeting you here, isn't it? My mind goes completely blank before I start spouting whatever pops up. Whatever pops up first in my emotionally wrecked brain. Please, don't die, Natsuki. Please, don't end up like her. Huh. I wonder why I said whatever I did to you back then. I wonder why I said whatever I did to you back then. Maybe it really was because I wanted you to help me. You're on the right track, though. I didn't want to tell anyone I knew because I didn't want them knowing something so personal. Out of all the people in the world that I could have gone to, I chose you, the random guy who sits in front of me in class. Man, how desperate was I to go with you? What are you saying? Honestly, I didn't think you'd even try to do anything, let alone care. Maybe she was right about you after all. Wait, who was right about me? You're not making any sense here. There's a pause as Natsuki sniffles to herself, trying to keep her nerve and resume talking to me. Clearly, though, she wasn't doing too much of a good job. You know what's really strange, though? I literally have no future beyond that night. This has all been some messed up loop, and I don't even know how long it's been going on. Hell if I know. I mean, I can't even break out of it and change things. Damn it, I don't even know what to do anymore. I feel like I'm just some damn wind-up doll forced to do whatever fate tells me to. Fate. Amy said I had to fight against fate. Amy always did say she was a strong believer in fate. I swear, now she's got me believing in it too. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. By the time I realize what's going on, I'm already awake, and then the morning comes. It's the start of the same day again, and I don't remember a damn thing. I'll think of something. I'm not going to let this happen again. Not to you or anyone. Never again. You're such an idiot, Daniel. Hey! You beautiful little idiot. I have to go now. We'll see each other soon. I know we will. Thank you again. Thank you for caring about me. It really means a lot. Natsuki turns away from me, looking out into the void. I reach out for her, begging her to come back, but it's pointless. In just a few seconds, she vanishes without a trace. I fall to the ground after losing my balance. I can feel my tears returning as I angrily pound my fist into the ground. Damn it! Goodbye for now, Daniel. No! No! I have to save you! I can't let you die! I won't fail you! Not like I failed Konoha! You hear me? I'm not letting anyone else die! Not on my watch! I start crying uncontrollably as I hang my head down in shame. A soul for a soul. Make the right decision, Daniel, and her life will be spared. June 3rd, 2019. So we're right back here again. I wake up to find myself on the ground, my head springing up from the pavement as I'm gasping for breath. Okay, well, since I've been usually taking it by loop, and those two loops are kind of short, I guess I'm going to cut into loop 4 just a little bit. I wake up... Okay, I already read that, duh. As I rub my eyes, I feel tears in them. Was I crying? That's when I remember. I saw Natsuki. I was in some kind of empty void where I also met him. I think back to what she said, as well as whatever Amy was screaming at me as she tried to bludgeon me to death with that random bat. A soul for a soul. Do I seriously need to kill someone to make this happen? I know I beat the living shit out of Jorichiro, but that's just because he's an annoying little shithead and a waste of oxygen. If anything, I'd probably be doing the world a favor taking him out of the picture, but I gulp as I get to my feet and I proceed to walk into the house, as I have done so many times already. I take a seat at the table, making sure I don't knock over any empty beer bottles. Again, imagination. I'd rather not wake up Natsuki or her psycho-killer father. I run my hands through my hair. I can't do this. I can't. What the hell am I even supposed to do here? I look up at the ceiling in frustration. Too bad the answer won't just descend from the sky like some kind of angel from above. A little bit of a reference to sort of the mod that I was taking some inspiration from. We'll touch on that in a while if you haven't watched the first dev commentary. No, that's silly talk. Like that's going to happen. Yeah, exactly. Then again, I'm stuck in some kind of time loop after going through a ritual for some interdimensional being who sounds like Satan. At this point, anything is possible. It's all carte blanche from here. Who knows? Maybe I'll get Himari here. Who knows? Maybe I'll get Himari Hirabayashi or Destiny Tenjoin admitting they have the hots for me. None of this makes sense, and it's driving me up the wall. Yeah, I guess I forgot that. As I lower my head back down, my eyes land on the outdated phone. I'm not sure why, but I get up and walk over to it. It's probably not the best idea to make a phone call from the homeowner's phone after you just broke in, but there's something I need to know for sure. It was Amy's harebrained scheme in the first place, so what if... Even if she hasn't technically done anything yet, she'd still have to believe me if I mentioned Tarankos to her since she's so obsessed with him. I don't know her number, though. Ah. Why would I have her number anyway? It's not like we ever spoke to each other on a regular basis. Nor would I ever want to, given how much of a psychotic chick she is. That's when I look over at the address book. She went on and on about how they're such great friends, so maybe Natsuki has her number in here. It's worth a shot. I thumb through the pages, and sure enough, I find what I'm looking for. Amy Shido. Thank you, outdated address book. And with that, I place a phone call to Amy from Natsuki's home phone. Talk about a convoluted way of making a phone call. It rings for a while, and I'm almost about to hang up after realizing how stupid this idea was. That is, until I hear a familiar voice on the other end. Hello? Hey, Amy. Daniel? What are you doing calling me? You're not trying to come onto me in the middle of the night, are you? What the No, you pervert! Why would I ever call you unless this was important? Whatever, you beast. I don't care if your hormones are going crazy right now. You do realize how late it is, don't you? Now that I'm looking at it, why does the caller ID say this is Nat's house? Can you tell me what's going on? Because I'm calling you from Nat's house. There's a momentary silence on the other end before she speaks again. You beast, I see what you're doing. You're so obsessed with Natsuki that you broke into her house to have your way with her. I should have known that was your evil plan all along. Did you take your stupid pills before bed? Shut up and listen to me. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm actually from the future. Natsuki is going to die tonight, and after I speak with you tomorrow, I'm going to make some kind of bargain with Tyrankos. Natsuki's going to die? Are you telling the truth? Do you think I would have broken into Natsuki's house just to fail saving her 3 times already? I know it sounds crazy, but I swear that I am. And like I said, you were the one that sent me back into the past, and told me about Tyrankos in the first place. This is like my 4th or 5th attempt at trying to save her. Yeah, unfortunately, left that there. I even got to speak to Tyrankos after you bludgeoned me to death for messing up. I did what? Yeah, and you're lucky I don't go over there to teach you some manners. I'm still pissed off that you got me to even do this thanks to you seducing me with some song. Gosh, Daniel, I didn't know you... Gosh, Daniel, I didn't realize you liked to be so rough. Is my voice turning you on right now? In that case, I best be careful. If just my voice is driving you wild right now, there's no telling what you'll do when you see me next. You could very well force yourself and have your way with me. This is not the time for you to be some psycho pervert, you freak. Natsuki's dad is going to wake up and kill her any moment now. Unless, of course, he decides to kill me first. Which he's already done, by the way. Kaido Sairenchi. I knew there was something wrong with that man. It's a shame fate decided to make dear Nat be his daughter. Do you know how he's going to kill her? He's going to force her into some kind of messed up double suicide, only for him to chicken out at the last minute. Look, you and Tyrankos told me that an exchange has to be made for this thing to work. A soul for a soul. There's another moment of silence on the other end. This is all making me feel nauseous. Amy? You bargained with Tyrankos, correct? Yes! Yes, that's what I've been saying this whole time! With this ritual, there does indeed have to be an exchange. When you bargain with Tyrankos to save a life, another life must be extinguished in its place. No. No, 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 no. Don't tell me. You can't possibly mean... Yes. In order for her life to go on, someone must die as a result of your actions. A lot of people did not seem to pay attention to this line, because I know some people were to hear like, yeah, what if you know, some other person dies randomly somewhere. Like, doesn't that... No. For this whole thing to work, yeah, he has to sort of have some hand in, you know, this happening. No. No, I can't! I don't want to kill anyone!
Relax, Daniel. If I die today, then that means Natsuki's life will be saved, and tomorrow will come for her.
What?! No, wait, there has to be another way!
There isn't another way. The will of Tyrannicos is absolute. Because you intervened by letting me know, I can die as a martyr for my friend, and the ritual will have succeeded.
So, yeah. Just some clarification on that for, you know, people thinking. Yeah, what if some random person somewhere just dies in, like, a car accident or whatever? Okay, look, I know I called you a psycho and a pervert, but that doesn't mean I want you to die instead. Can you at least tell me more about the so-called rules for this ritual?
There has to be another way, there has to be! And I told you that there is no other way. Alright. I understand everything loud and clear.
Are you listening to me? Stop! Whatever you're about to do, just stop everything! I'll go over there. We can talk this through.
There's no point in dragging this out any longer, Daniel. Thank you for telling me the truth about Natsuki's death. With that, I can finally do something to save her. Thank you, Daniel. Listen, Goodbye.
Amy, no, come back, I don't want... The line goes dead. For the few people that have played, like, Forlorn Heart, you might have an idea of what Amy was about to say there. And if you don't, well, it's kind of expanded on in Forlorn Heart, and eventually Captive Heart Amor Prohibido. I can't believe what I've done. So then the both of them really weren't lying. It's like some really fucked up game of economics. There has to be some kind of exchange between souls like they're just currency in some fucked up stock market. And as one of my economics professors would say, there's always a trade-off, so to say. No matter what I do, someone has to die on this day. I know Amy was never really my friend. I never spoke to her and I thought she was some kind of perverted freak. But I didn't want her to die. I don't even know where she lives, damn it! Slamming the phone back down, I storm out of the house, hoping to avoid detection. Hell, even if I did know where she lived, who's to say I'd even make it there in time to stop her? I knew where Code and Noah lived, and I obviously couldn't stop... I knew where Code and Noah lived, and I obviously couldn't help her. I'd just be wasting my time. I try to run, but my legs feel very weak. I drop to my knees. My hands are very shaky as I hold them out in front of me. I can feel my heart racing and my lungs working overtime as I try to calm myself down. I try to get up, only to tumble back down again. What kind of screwed up ritual is this? What was it that Yuri said again? Wait, Yuri! I prop myself up against the wall, trying my best to calm down. Yuri said she would still be working on trying to find an answer to this mess despite the time loop resetting everything. Maybe I should check on her. Once I feel that I'm able to stand on my feet, I head over to Yuri's house. I more or less remember the way, considering hers and Natsuki's houses are in the same area. There we go. I walk up to the door and pound on it, only to stop myself after thinking back to what happened the last time I saw her and Mio. The police. What did they... I'm caught off guard when the door opens.
Daniel, what are you doing here?
First, let me check something. Do you remember what I said about Amy?
Oh, yes, of course I do, Daniel.
Okay, just checking to see if that magic metal ring or whatever actually works or not.
Yes, I can assure you that I wasn't making it up.
At this point, I wish you and Amy were making this whole thing up.
Why? What happened? Come inside and tell me.
She ushered me inside and I took my place on the couch. I met him, Yuri.
Who?
I met Tarankos. When I tried to bend the rules, he burned down the school and Mio was...
Mio? Mio wasn't in the classroom when that happened.
What?
Yes. I am aware about the fire. Mio told me so herself, since I've been secluded into this house Mio told me so herself, since I've been secluded to the house this whole time. Apparently she needed to go to the bathroom when there was a loud explosion. When she went out to see what happened, that's when she saw that your homeroom class was set ablaze. She fled along with the other students trying to get away.
She's... alive? My voice cracks as I bury my face in my hands.
She's... alive?
Okay, well, I guess I did it better this time. I feel tears of relief streaming down my face.
Yes. She only just narrowly escaped with her life in the nick of time.
Oh, thank God.
Going back to what you said before, though. You met Tarankos?
Yeah. I try to regain my composure as I look Yuri in the eyes. I saw the fire. I saw the classroom. I saw the bodies. So I ran out of there. That's when I ran to Amy and that psychotic bitch beat me to death with a bat.
My goodness. She's even more deranged than I thought.
That's not all. Before the loop reset itself, I was in the middle of nowhere with darkness all around me. That's when I heard his voice. He told me that he killed Mio, and that's when it hit me. That son of a bitch told me he killed Mio! Then he told me if I didn't do what he wanted, he'd burn down my house with my mom in it.
Tarankos is always known to say whatever he must in order to get what he wants.
What he wants? Apparently all he wants is to live in a perfect world, but I don't see how doing this is going to accomplish that.
I wish I knew. I've never met him or heard his voice, but my grandmother, aunt, and mother have known him all their lives. That goes for me as well as Cousin Kotonoa.
He said that I belong to him. He said that I have to do what he wants. He also told me that to fulfill the ritual, I had to make an exchange. Amy was shouting about an exchange too when she was going psycho on me.
Oh dear. I could have sworn I read something like that in one of these books, but I hoped I was wrong.
What did it say?
Well, sadly, some pages were torn out of the book, but it mentioned something about a curse you place on someone with a wish in their heart. It's oddly similar to another ritual disguised as a game mentioned in the book, but that one is nothing but lies and deception. They're only meant to appease Tarankos and Zaretha with their twisted desires.
And news is trivia. These two lines here were a reference to a scrapped project we had in mind. I don't know if we'll ever revisit that, but considering how, the idea for that project was not mine, and I wasn't fully on board with it to begin with. And I was unhappy with what I wrote, and so was the person who had the idea, so I'll just say that mod is going to be indefinitely shelved unless I change my mind otherwise. So he's even more screwed in the head than I already thought he was.
For lack of a better way to put it, precisely. A soul for a soul. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. They both said the same thing. In order for someone to die, another person must die. I couldn't do it, Yuri. I know I almost beat the shit out of Joichiro, but that was on accident. I didn't want to go out and intentionally kill someone for no reason. I can't just... I'm trembling, and my voice starts cracking as I feel tears in my eyes again. I'm surprised when Yuri sits beside me and puts her arms around me.
I know, Daniel. You're a good person. Time just hasn't been very kind to you. You've just had to experience a lot of terrible things and face many hardships. You've had a difficult life, but even still, you're every bit of the sweet, gentle soul Kodonoha used to make you out to be. If only she could be here right now. She almost always knew what to say in times like these.
I miss her.
I know. I miss her too. I know she wouldn't want to see you suffering like this.
Then why did she... That's when I hear Yuri trying to stifle her sobs but failing miserably.
I wish I knew, Daniel. I had no idea things were that bad enough for her to even consider doing that. You know how she was, though. As much of a wonderful person she was stubborn at times. In fact, I feel as though
she wouldn't ask for help directly, even if she needed it.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Considering she didn't want your uncle or the police to get involved. She even swore me to secrecy. Yeah, she was. She was stubborn until the very end. It seems Natsuki wasn't the only one too sweet for her own good then, or however Amy put it.
Natsuki?
Yuri pulled away from me, having calmed down a little bit.
Now that I think about it, I can see some similarities between the both of them. I suppose it's no wonder they got along so well.
Wait, they knew each other?
I'm not sure if it was to the point of being best friends, but I did see Kodonoha talking to her on occasion back then. I never really thought much of it at the time, but from what I do know about Natsuki, I think it all makes some sense now.
I wipe away the last of my tears as I sit back up on the couch. That's when it suddenly hit me. I sort of remember reading about Kodonoha in the diary, but considering I witnessed a murder and was running for my life from a psychopath, I guess that kind of slipped my mind. Yeah, so I included that line there because some people were questioning, like, hey, yeah, he read that in the diary, why is he acting so surprised? Like, well, the logic here is, would you remember reading something like that that's, at least to him, it seemed so, like, minuscule that, you know, are you going to remember something so minuscule if you're, you know, trying to run away from a murder, or run away from a murder after witnessing him murder someone? Like, yeah, I don't think so. Again, that was my logic at least.
Back on topic, though. So you're aware of the soul for soul exchange. What did you make of that exactly? I mean, in the sense of whose life was it that needed to be extinguished?
Well, I kind of figured that since her father is the one that kills her, he was the one that needed to die.
That is a logical conclusion, although something doesn't feel right. I feel as though we're missing something here, and those torn pages had to have been the key. Does that mean...
Like I said, I couldn't do it in the end. So the old bastard is alive and well, as much as I hate to admit it. I don't know who's more crazy between him or Amy. Oh, damn it. Amy.
What about Amy? Did she do something?
Yes. I know this is going to sound like some bad Florida man joke, but when I broke into Natsuki's house, I called Amy.
Huh?
I didn't know what else to do, okay? You do some stupid shit when you're under pressure, you know.
My apologies. Please continue.
Anyway, I called her up on the home phone after she wasted time being all perverted and calling me a beast. I fessed up that I was from the future and that I knew about the ritual. I even told her about how I met Tyrankos and the whole soul for a soul thing.
If we ignore Amy's depraved nature for a moment, how did she respond?
That's the messed up part. She was silent for a moment before asking me to repeat myself. Then she straight up tells me she's going to die as a martyr to save Natsuki's life. Yuri's eyes widen in shock and she falls back into the couch a little. I tried telling her to stop, but she wouldn't listen to me.
No, Daniel, you're not the one at fault here. Remember, she's most likely a descendant of the Dark Interlopers as I am. Unlike me, however, her ancestors are among those who remained completely loyal to Tyrankos. Those who would be willing to do anything to satisfy him. While I've heard whispers of her perverted and depraved nature...
Again, Yuri's voice.
While I've heard whispers of her perverted and depraved nature, I didn't think she would be that delusional as to take her own life.
Well, apparently she is. She hung up on me after that, and I stormed out of the house. I don't have a clue where she lives, so I couldn't even try to stop her.
Even if you did, Daniel, I have the feeling she wouldn't listen to reason. Even if you did, Daniel, I have the feeling she still wouldn't listen to reason. I'm honestly at a loss for words right now, but not because I'm feeling a sense of grief or sadness over her death. If anything, I'm utterly stunned she would even go to such lengths as to please Tyrankos. Utterly disgusting. There's no use crying over her now, Daniel. My suspicions proved to be correct in believing Amy was a lost cause. There was nothing else you could have done. After all, didn't you say that before this she killed you?
Yeah, and I still haven't forgiven her for that. That doesn't mean I wanted her to die, though.
I know. I'm not blaming you. All I'm saying is that no matter what you did, Amy would have done anything if it meant carrying out the will of Tyrankos. Even if it was something awful or criminally wrong, she wouldn't have cared. If anything, she most likely saw herself as some sort of divine agent of his.
So like an agent of Providence? Wait. Tyrankos isn't some kind of god, though, is he?
Honestly, I'm not even sure. Details on where he came from and his origins are very unclear outside of what details he did share with his followers. Details on where he came from and his origins are very unclear outside of what details he did share with his followers. As such, they all blindly worshipped him as a god, given his otherworldly powers and knowledge of the universe.
I guess that makes sense. Damn, hearing that voice of his it felt so chilling and sinister. The whole time he was giving us some murderous vibes.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Well, for the time being, there isn't much else we can do aside from trying to play things by ear for tomorrow.
So does that mean you're coming back to school?
Yes. I'm still not convinced the conditions for the curse have been satisfied, if there even are any set conditions. I want to continue monitoring things as best as I can, so make sure you're at school tomorrow as well.
Alright. I got off the couch, and Yuri walks me over to the door. Oh, by the way.
Yes?
What happened with the cops at the door?
Oh, that. Yes, I'm surprised you remembered that, considering you were practically out cold by then. Well, by the time I was about to open the door, I didn't even have to talk to any of the police officers because the world just collapsed and fell into darkness. I'm not even sure how best to describe it. The next thing I knew, I found myself back here in my living room, cleaning up just as I was doing the previous night. I looked at the clock and my calendar, and sure enough, time had rewound itself. I got a call from Mio as well, since she seemed so confused and shaken about the experience. So lucky for all of us, we didn't have to deal with any police. I'd like to hope we won't have to in the future.
Yeah. I told you, it was an accident.
I know it was, Daniel. I just hope that you think your actions through a little better.
I'm trying. What?
I don't know who's more stubborn between you or Kotonoa.
The funny lady has passed judgment. Good night, Yuri.
Good night, Daniel.
With that, I make my way back home and sneak inside. Mom is already asleep as per usual. Thankfully she's safe, and that sociopath Tarankos hasn't done anything to her. As I get into bed, I try my best to relax, but I can't. I don't think I'm going to get much sleep tonight with how much is on my mind right now. Although I didn't do it myself, I feel like I have Amy's blood on my hands. Not to mention, I wasn't sure if I was seriously going to kill that old bastard Kaido or not. I don't know what will be awaiting me at school in the morning this time round, or if Amy's sacrifice will satisfy the conditions for this curse. There's so many things I don't know, and it's all driving me insane. What did I do to deserve getting mixed in with this shit? That's when I remembered Yuri's words.
You're a good person. Time just hasn't been very kind to you. You've just had to experience a lot of terrible things, that's all. You've had a difficult life, but even still, you're every bit of a sweet, gentle soul, as Kotonoa used to make you out to be.
It seems like no matter what I do, it feels like I just got the bad end of some messed up deal somewhere. I never wanted any of this. Of course, I never wanted anything to happen to Kotonoa either. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Eventually, I start to doze off. Okay, let me go ahead and save it here, and... Okay, this video might be running a bit long, but, well... them's the breaks. So next time, we'll continue on and see what happens after Amy's sacrifice. Anyway, so thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time with whatever else I do. Stay golden, and later, folks.